Hello everybody and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's episode we're going to be playing my worst character imaginable. Her name is Tracer. She blinks around. She makes things terrible for other people. I'm ready to be embarrassed. Thanks for watching the video though. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Live your YouTube life to your fullest. Today's team comps, though, are going to be Lucio, Ragnaros, Tracer, Chromie, and Johanna versus Gul'dan, Muradin, Anub'arak, Varian, and Ana. So, Tracer is notoriously difficult for me specifically because I have never really gotten a very good grip on the character or her mobility. I've been trying to force myself to play her a little bit more recently, so we're getting a bit more used to how things go. And it's getting a little bit easier. It's getting a little bit easier, especially with her recent rework. Things are definitely on the upturn for my relationship with Tracer. If you haven't seen the character before, her abilities are number 1, Blink, which is your Q. You're gonna dash forward, backward, any direction that you choose. You get 3 charges. They're on a pretty short cooldown. W is called Melee, really creative naming. Obviously, you just jump in, you punch someone for 229. Actually, you don't jump anywhere. You have to be close to people, and you hit the W button, and it'll smack them if they're close. And in doing that, you are going to get charge for your ultimate, which is available at level 1. Your E is going to be Recall. After 1.25 seconds, Tracer returns to the position she was at 2 seconds prior to casting, refilling her ammo and removing all negative status effects from herself. Now, this used to be 3 seconds. In the past, she would recall to you. Now it is only 2 seconds, and there's a very clear indicator as to where Tracer is going to wind up once the ability is done. So, much more dangerous to recall nowadays than it was in the past, but removing all status effects and refilling your ammo, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Our ultimate's called Pulse Bomb. It's off cooldown at level 1. Actually doesn't have a cooldown. You just have to charge it up. You charge it up with your auto attacks, your melee, and I believe that's it. That's everything that you do to charge it up. Anyway, it's really short range. And then if you throw it, if you hit someone with it, it's going to stick to them. And then the bomb is going to explode 2 seconds later, dealing a bunch of damage, and then a bunch of damage in an area as well. Yeah, there you go. Right there at the bottom. The ability is slowly charged over time by dealing damage to enemies with basic attacks and melee. Okay, cool. Varian did not go taunt, so I am much less scared of him, but still pretty scared because I'm still kind of bad at moving around with this character. You can see right now we're at 0% on our Pulse Bomb because we just threw it on the ground in a panic trying to run away from Varian. And that's kind of how things are going to go. That's this game in a nutshell. Muradin stepping up into the bush for his team. We're getting healed up by our Lucio. Oh my god, the CC. A lot of what Tracer is about is mobility at the end of the day. So characters with big skill shots, well, maybe not, maybe the term big skill shot is incorrect. Oh, no, I think I'm dead. Oh my god, I'm not. Difficult to land skill shots. So things like an Imperious Q or a Leeming Magic Missile or even Chromie abilities are going to be more than a little bit difficult for Tracer to get hit with, because she never has to stop moving when attacking, and she's always, more often than not, got blinks available to get out of a sticky situation, because there's 3 charges, they're on a 9-second cooldown. You can understand how often we're going to have that ability up. So when you get into situations where you're just attacking one person with your autos and all of their damage is skill shot based, you're probably going to win as long as you're doing a good job of dodging their damage. Leeming especially really can only hurt you if she is hitting you with Calamity, or possibly, I think she has an auto attack talent as well that could help her. but typically you don't see Li Ming take that ability. Oh! And just like that, you can see I wasted 2 blinks. I'm a little bit trigger happy on that Q button, but you can see those clearly telegraphed abilities coming in with Tracer pretty easily, and dodging them is even more easy when you've got 3 charges of blink up. It's really, really cool. Oh no, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Beetles, go away, Beetles. That's 4 Beetles. Please go away. No, stop. Leave me alone. Tracer's health bar is also super small, so think it's probably like Vala range, I think. Maybe a little bit more. I'm not super sure on that. But similar in amounts of health. As far as the build that I use for this character, since I'm just kind of brand new to her, getting used to all the ins and outs, I have one that works for me, and I think there are a couple talents that I'm supposed to be taking, but I don't because I'm not that good at the hero. Number 1, though, I do take 1-2 punch, reducing the cooldown of melee by 1 second and giving it a second charge. So it's a 7-second cooldown, and it's going to be up 2 times. So I can just punch the shit out of people when we jump in. I don't think you can melee. I do think there's a cooldown. Yeah, there's a 2-second cooldown in between charges. So that's whatever. You still get 6% per melee for your bomb, and you get 12% when you hit heroes with it. So if you hit a hero 2 times with melee, you've got basically a quarter of your ult charged up and ready to go. We got finally landing the pulse bomb on a good target. Ana gonna eat that one, and our whole team is just pretty happy to be down here in the bottom lane. Mid lane fort on the enemy team looks pretty tasty. Same thing going on with our top fort, though. We traded those first 2 temples, and I am just getting in the backline onto the Gul'dan, who is completely immobile and really has no way to get away from me. Same thing with Ana, honestly. Damn. Almost. Had I been paying a bit more attention to the Muradin, he probably would have died. But the next part of the build, this talent here, I'm just not really sure what is the strongest. Obviously, I have my own comforts when it comes to... Ooh, a new brat goes down. Is Muradin next? We've got the huge slow from the Chromie puddle. Muradin and Ana are just going to die because they're never going to get out of it. Got the Gul'dan as well, and that is a full team wipe on the enemy team because they just can't handle all of our damage. Most of our damage. Who knows? Who knows what they were thinking? Oh no. The stream that I was watching turned on in the middle of what I was doing. Okay, but anyway. Back to what we were talking about. The build at level 4, I don't really know. Leeching rounds seems good on paper. Getting 15% more healing from your autos. I guess I didn't mention Tracer's trait at all. I just exploded. How did we die? What was the... Wow. 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 Sometimes you just don't expect the damage and it catches you directly in the face. So, anyway, Tracer's trait is called Reload. Tracer can basic attack while moving. This is encompassing her movement and her resource bar, which is her ammo. She can only auto attack. Are we? Huh. That's weird. I was staring at the floor for a very long time. Anyway. Yeah, so Tracer can only auto attack while she's got ammo, and the ammo bar has to be reloaded, which is how you get it back. You hit it, your D key, you get the resource back. You can auto attack again. Pretty neat. Kind of balances her out. If she could just auto attack forever, she'd be pretty broke. Basic attacks heal Tracer for 10% of the damage that they deal, and leeching rounds is going to increase that. Where is it? To 15% if you have 3 charges of blink. So I mean, it seems good, right? You can, if you're not having to waste a lot of your blink charges, you're gonna be happy with the life leech. But then again, if you're using a lot of blink charges like I do when you're smashing the button, it seems less good. Health pack is always really kind of generally good. Oof, big bomb there. I find that, you know, picking up globes with Tracer and having the reduced cooldown on your fountain is really helpful, but it doesn't give you any sort of... whoop. I was targeting a tower there instead of holding in. But we still killed him, so that's all that matters. The hell was I saying? Oh, right, the health pack. Doesn't give you a whole lot of team fight capability like leeching rounds or pulse generator does, but definitely gives you a lot of sustain if you have to go off into lanes and do shit, which is neat. I also really like pulse generator though, so if you land a pulse bomb, you're going to heal for 25% of your max health over 1.5 seconds and get a charge of blink back. Ooh, he's got slowed. We're going to get back in. Nice. You can use your recall aggressively if you are displaced by a Muradin Haymaker or something similar. No, bummer. Okay, it's fine. I have dropped tower aggro. We're leaving. My Lucio's got a shield for us. I really don't want to be here. Nice. We're ready to go. We're ready to leave. So I guess just pick whatever you're most comfortable with on 4. 7, I am always going to pick Sleight of Hand because I do not like the other 2 talents. Locked and Loaded is just too much for my brain to process when I'm playing the character that I'm constantly having to move with anyway. So I'm just going to leave it where it is. I don't want to hit the D key. I just want to fire and forget. And what Sleight of Hand is doing is basically reducing the cooldown of our reload by half. So we can just shoot infinitely faster, which is, well, not, obviously 50% faster. But see, they even put it in the tooltip. This equals 20% more damage per second. This is good, we promise. Focus fire. If an entire ammo magazine is unloaded on the enemy, the last bullet will deal 164 bonus damage, equal to 35% of the total magazine. It's all about DPS increase at that tier. The good talent is Locked and Loaded, apparently, with the active reload, but I will not ever pick it, because I don't do extra buttons if I don't have to. And then at 10, I feel like you can pick whatever here. I feel like all of the options are pretty viable. You're going to see a lot of Quantum Spike most often, but I like Pulse Rounds, I like Sticky Bomb. Sticky Bomb is specifically what we took in this game, because hitting Ana with the Sticky is going to just basically root her in place if she's striked up. And that should just immediately kill her. Plus it increases the size of the ability by 50%, so it's just a huge 70% slow. Are we all gonna die here? Chromie's in the cocoon, we gotta try and get her out, and she's still gonna die anyway. Okay, there's the 70% slow on the Muradin. I'm going to be able to target him at the last second, thank God. At 13, I picked up Telefrag, mainly because I was just kind of figuring out how it works. It's not bad. Basic attacks are going to reduce the cooldown of your recall, which is super nice. And then when you recall to the location, if there's anybody hanging around there, it's going to knock people back and it's going to deal damage. So it makes your recalls safer, but it's certainly a defensive ability, period. There's really no offense to it. Jumper, I think, is probably the best talent at the tier, because when you don't have any blinks, you're going to get that cooldown back 125% faster, meaning more blinks, right? More blinks is always good. That's what this character is all about. And then it's going to give you a shield for 6% of your maximum health for 3 seconds, and it can stack. So if you blink 3 times, you get, what's 6 times 3? 18% of your maximum health as a shield. So if you blink in 3 times real quick, slap someone with a melee and your pulse bomb and then your recall. Hopefully you haven't eaten your entire health bar because you've been shielded and everything's working out nicely, right? Oh my god, they did boss. Never would have expected that with all the catapults and the camps and all the damage on their core. No. I really like heavy-handed at 16 to reduce the armor by 15 of the person that we're meleeing, especially because we've got 2 charges of melee, but bullet spray is insanely good for clearing if you have to kind of, you know, get into that. It's also, since it's in an AoE, your melee is now in a bigger AoE, you're going to get more charge for your bomb back when you're hitting multiple people. So it's really, really good. Between bullet spray and heavy-handed, I think both of those talents are amazing. The ricochet, I don't particularly care for, mainly because I like doing a lot of damage with melee. But, you know, that is what it is. At 20, we did pick up Get Stuffed, so increase melee's charge against heroes from 12 to 24%. So hitting someone with 2 melees is now going to give us basically half the charge for our bomb. And then if we melee a person who has our ult on them, it's going to blow it up instantly, rather than having to wait the full 2 seconds for it to go off. I think specifically with no, I can't. I want to see the talents. I can't see the talents anymore. Yeah, way to go, healer. Overwatch characters. I didn't make it on the board. Of course I didn't. Let's see. What did we... 11-1. Definitely was not a bad Tracer game. Just fucking styling on people. I mean, that's what the character's all about, right? Right? Who knows? She's annoying, but she's fun. So, unless you have a specific counter for Tracer, which is a hefty amount of CC, she's just going to kind of do whatever she wants, which is really cool. You do have to engage with her kind of out of the frame of the team fight, though. So she's got to go in from different angles. It's really hard for Tracer to just go front-loaded into the team fight. So that's where you eat most of the CC. That's where all the AoE damage comes from. If you're next to characters that are going to be eating a lot of that damage for you, you're going to lose your health really fast. So you want to go in for the flanks. You want to go in midway through the team fight. You want to be harassing people that are out in the open and making your presence known while taking as little damage as possible. I think the point I was going to make, though, with Sticky Bomb specifically, I think Composition B at level 20 is better, because when you hit someone with your Sticky Bomb, it's going to leave another bomb on the ground, and that is another huge area of 70% slow for 3 seconds. So I definitely feel like that's the way to go with this ult choice. And then Get Stuffed is typically what you're going to go with in other cases. Total Recall is also good, I think, because you get health back with Recall, but I don't like to rely on Recall as much as a lot of other players do. So we're just going to take the most offensive talents that we possibly can. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I know it ended kind of quick, but it was a Sky Temple game, so can you blame me? I mean, we did end up killing a lot of people. 3-23. That poor enemy team. Those poor guys. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out. Feel free to let me know what you're thinking about this video, this character, what have you, and I will be back to do some Gazlowe, to do some D.Va, to do some new fun stuff. I'll see you later.